What's up, everybody out there? How you doing? I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for the love, the support. I really and truly do appreciate it. Yes, I do. I want to say thank you to you new viewers, returning viewers, and you subscribers. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody hit the like button and leave a comment. We're talking about R&B divas over here. We're talking about the R&B diva Stephanie Mills. Yes, I know those of you who saw my video with Stephanie Mills and her spill on Beyonce and Diana Ross and not being in the same lane, so on and so forth. It is what it is. We're moving on from that. Yes, I was going to cover Stephanie Mills eventually. And so I decided to, cover her right now. Why not? But before I do that, I want to, promote R&B diva Joyce Cinderella Irby. She has a new book out. It's called I Still Say Yes. Yes, Joyce Cinderella Irby. She is a part of the R&B female band, all-girl band. That's right, Climax. Okay, and such a wonderful lady. I don't know much about Climax, and so when I found out that this book was out, I decided to get a copy so that I can read and talk more about Climax. Yes, I am going to cover more of Climax. I want to read this book first. That's right. Get you a copy of Joyce Cinderella Irby's I Still Say Yes. The title is also a song that Climax made popular back in the late 80s. Joyce Cinderella Irby sings lead on that. That song was written or co-written by Babyface. Joyce Cinderella Irby also sang lead on the song I Miss You, another big hit for Climax. Anyway, check her out. Get the book over at Amazon. You won't be disappointed. I have started reading the book. It's very interesting already. Very interesting. But we're going to go on from that, and we're going to talk about R&B diva Stephanie Mills. Woo! Listen, you guys, all right, if you followed me, then you know that around 1989, 1990, that's when this music thing is starting to come together for me. All right, I'm discovering in 1989, 1990 that some of my favorite singers are also songwriters and producers, okay? And, executives, so on and so forth. Like they're calling the shots when it comes to their music and their careers, okay? I didn't know that. Young person at the time. So I'm looking at music from a just an entertainment. I'm being entertained, right? Read the description in my description box. I talk more about that. But being entertained by the Pointer Sisters, seeing the Pointer Sisters, seeing Patti LaBelle, Dionne, Warwick, and Gladys Knight perform, so on and so forth. Just inspiring, okay? Well, in 1989, I'm here to tell you, it really starts to get good because this lady here had a song out in 1989 called Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. Now, around this time, I want you guys to understand something. As I said before, I'm learning that you can go to the record store, and get your records, right? You can purchase your these artists' music, right? Preteen. But at this moment in time, what I am doing is that I am having my mom to buy me cassettes, at the store, and I would take those blank cassettes and I would listen to the radio and record my favorite songs like that. So as I'm listening to the radio, as a song come up that I want to hear, again that I like. I hit the record button, so on and so forth, and make me like a little, cassette of music. Anywho, so it's 1989, and a video comes up. It's hers. Stephanie Mills, Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. Baby, woo. And she has her hair kind of similar. And Stephanie Mills comes out and oh my gosh, she's popping her fingers. The beat is moving and she's snapping her fingers. And then all of a sudden it goes from the top of her head, and then it starts to show her entire body. And you see her, she has on this white jacket, and this jacket has these tassels at the end of it, and she has on this skirt or dress with these white shoes. And I mean, she looks so fine and so sophisticated. And then you hear that drum, and then it's like the track starts to slide, and oh my gosh, like it's like everything just was so right and so good. Oh, that's a Stephanie Mills song. And I'm just sitting there like, wow, like this woman, if the Pointer Sisters, Anita, June, and Ruth, if they made it look fun, and Patti LaBelle and Dionne Warwick and Gladys Knight made me think of camaraderie between singers. And Lionel Richie made it look cool, like I literally want to dance on the ceiling. Stephanie Mills made it look so freaking sexy. I mean, she made it look sexy. I know I don't want to use the word classy because of this Beyonce stuff, but she made it look so sexy. She made it look like go watch the video, and I think you'll know what I'm saying. Oh, do you remember back with the JCPenney catalogs? I remember the JCPenney catalogs. In that video, she looks like she's one of the catalog models. I hope that's not a diss, but you know how it is when the women were like, they had their hats and things on, and they had their suit jackets on and stuff in the catalog and so on and so forth. Like, she just looked so freaking fine in it. And I'm not just trying to limit it to her look, but I'm trying to go somewhere with it, how I was just pulled in by just watching this video of her. And then she's singing. And then I don't know about you all when you first heard the song. I don't know about you all when you hear the song today, Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. To me, I never, not once, did I ever think that song was about a man. You know what I thought that song was about? For some reason within me, I thought the song was about God. I really did. When I think about Something in the Way You Make Me Feel right now, and I guess because of where I was in my life, even as a kid, kind of looked down more than I should have been. And when I say down, not happy, just a little down. When I hear the song today, I've been up, but I've been down. You see what I'm saying? I think it's what I've been up and I've been down. I had my feet swept off the ground. I've been rich, I've been poor. Then you show me that there was so much more than a rat race or a fast face could ever offer me. Like, it was things like that, like Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. You got the right touch and you just don't know what came over me. And when I woke up, it was so plain to see. I don't know about you guys, but like I said, that's not a natural man to me doing that. That was like God. But anywho, So I think that's another reason why I connected to Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. And to this day, when I see that video, I still get the same feel. And it's almost, when I think about it now, I wasn't quite grasping video concepts, but almost like it has like this Egyptian feel to her video. Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. Like there's an Egyptian feel, a goddess kind of like feel. It was definitely, like, to me, out the box video for me. So then I discovered, right, as I told y'all, if one thing about it, you're going to eventually, if you're not, you're going to eventually become an Angela Winbush fan, because I'm here to tell you Angela Winbush will be all up and down my YouTube channel, because I'm here to tell you that lady, I mean, like, she is my favorite divas of all divas, hands down. Like, everybody else is I like them. But if I had to choose my favorite R&B diva, it would be Angela Winbush. And then I discovered, eventually following Angela Winbush's career course, I was like, oh my gosh, Stephanie Mills and Angela Winbush are actually like friends. I was like, whoa. And then I discovered, of course, this was before this, discovering they were friends, that Angela Winbush wrote and produced Something in the Way You Make Me Feel. So that's when I'm discovering, let me check out more about Stephanie Mills. Now, remember, I do recall my mother having, I think it's the 45. Is it the 45? The single is the 45, right? And I remember my mother having a 45, and we actually had a record player. And it wasn't in 89 or 90. No, it was, no, take that back. We had a stereo that played cassettes, and the top part of that stereo played 45s. We just didn't have them anymore. But anyway, moving right along. So I remember my mother back in the day, maybe like in 85, 84, something like that. They had a stereo, and I remember I've Learned to Respect the Power of Love. That single was the song that introduced me to Stephanie Mills for sure. Like, I knew of Stephanie Mills, and I knew of her, of course, with I Feel Good All Over. Yes. And I remember, I think that 45 had Stand Back on the back of it. If I'm not mistaken, I think there was another song there was the B-side, Stand Back. So anyway, that's my Stephanie Mills. That's how I got into Stephanie Mills. So let's talk about her, if you will. I have yet to listen to Stephanie Mills' entire catalog. I have yet. I think what is it? The Stephanie Mills album from 1985 with I've Learned to Respect the Power of Love. I have, I'm sorry. No, I have yet. My journey for Stephanie Mills then, and if I have to just, excuse me, be true, would definitely be 1987, If I Were Your Woman, and 1989, Home. That's it. That would be, those two albums is where it is for me. And everything else is more like singles. Like, for example, What You Gonna Do With My Lovin', Sweet Sensation, Two Hearts, Stand Back. I've learned to respect the power of love. I'm trying to think of if I'm missing any. because there's so many that I can think of when it comes to Stephanie Mills. I think that's it. There's nothing else that I can truly think of that resonates with me other than those two albums. That's interesting. Because, whenever I do these videos, I don't necessarily know where I'm going, and I like that. So let's stop for a minute and let's kind of focus in on Stephanie Mills. We know Stephanie Mills has a Grammy, right, for the single I never knew love like this before. It's interesting. Oh my gosh. You know what? Oh, I never know where I'm going. I have to do this. And what's that? Dishing out the dirt on who drop kicked who, literally and figuratively, in these entertainment streets. And when I do that over here, you already should know by now, I could approach something that might be just a little bit messy, or people might go raise their eyebrow. You never know, because I never know. I'm thinking about Stephanie Mills' career. I'm thinking about the fact that she is such a legend in the business. Follow where I'm going. I'm thinking about the fact that you can see Stephanie Mills where we see Stephanie Mills. We can see her on the Breakfast Club. She doesn't have any music out. I'm talking about like in general, like this particular comment she made regarding Beyonce and Diana Ross. It is what it is. We see her on Vlad television. We saw her years back regarding the actual television production of The Wiz, and you did a great job, Diva. You really did. We see her in that. Always touring. And guess what? And this is what I like. Now, Stephanie Mills might probably think, I doubt she sees this, but somebody could probably think that this is a diss to her, but it's not. But guess what? When we talk about Stephanie Mills, and it just never dawned on me, we never talk about record sales. How many records have she sold? We never talk about hit singles, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, she has 5 number ones. I've learned to respect the power of love. You're putting a rush on me. If I were your woman, something in the way you make me feel, and home. 5 number ones. We never talk about record sales. I know she has quite a few gold records. I'm going somewhere. But yet, she's held in such high honor and high esteem. She really and truly is. That's amazing. You never know where we're going over here. That's interesting. So then, if I had to ask Stephanie Mills a question, I would ask her, what do you think, Stephanie, about your career and what you've done in your career that has made you such a household name where we are welcoming you into our lives? And you don't have that crossover hit record, so to speak. I know, Never Knew Love Like This. I understand you have the Grammy for that, but I'm just saying. But yet you're still relevant to me. Relevant as in, you don't see a lot of artists of her day and time on the Breakfast Club. I mean, yeah, but Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle are a whole nother category. What is that? I know we can say The Wiz, but I don't even think and know if it's The Wiz. I think it's because of those songs that I just named. That those songs, Stephanie Mills is definitely in our household. Like she's there. She's a prominent fixture there. Hmm. That's interesting. I don't know why I find it so interesting. What do you guys think? Tell me. What do you think now? Here's another thing that I like about Stephanie Mills' career. I actually bought the record, and I think the record is called Healing Time. No, is it Healing Time? Born for This. Born for This. That's it. So, Stephanie Mills released a record in the early 2000s, and it was called Born for This. And what I like most about that is that, if I'm not mistaken, I think Stephanie Mills actually put up her own money to do it, literally. And this was at a time, remember, if you follow me, then you know too that to me, I'll say sometime around 1997, I think that the music industry was trying to push artists such as Stephanie Mills out completely, like literally. And it was great when I came across the fact that Stephanie Mills had a record out, and she pretty much put forth her effort into putting that record out herself. Now, she says she got a lot of backlash for the record Born for This, as far as like, oh, why did you do it? So on and so forth. Like her fans were not happy with it. I was. I was happy to see that she had the record out, but I think I understand what her the public, her audience was saying about the record. Born for This, that record to me was a record that, well, it looked like, or it sounded like rather, an R&B diva first effort. You know, decent, you liked it, but it wasn't what we were known, what we knew, what we got from Stephanie Mills, a Stephanie Mills production. And who did she work with? Who did she work with on that album? Was it BB Winans? I think BB Winans had a song on there. I think Gordon Chambers had a song on there. Oh, I can't think. But anyway, she worked with some producers on it. And I think I know what the problem was for that record. I don't think it was the production. I don't think it was the writing. I don't. You want me to tell you what I think why the Born for This record did not do for us what previous records did? Stephanie Mills was not sewing throughout those tracks. That's all it was. And it's interesting because I said this before, I'm going to say it again. For whatever reason in today's music, producers are not producing songs. You can tell they are very lazy in their approach. It's kind of like right now, here I am, I'm trying to explain to you the music side of my R&B divas, and Sometimes it look like I could come up short in that explanation when it relates to music and trying to get that point across, because I don't have a lot of experience as far as the actual production part of it. But then you get an album and you get these producers who come in, and it's like, y'all ain't gonna get anybody to produce these vocals. Right? This is Stephanie Mills. You know, she sounds great and wonderful, but we are used to her singing If I Were Your Woman that way. We're used to her singing, the power of love. Like, we're used to how she sings it. The songs are great. It's just the vocals. She didn't approach it the way she did. And it's interesting to see that. Also another thing too, what I kind of see with Stephanie Mills' career, and it's unfortunate with other artists. I think who else fell in that category? Sherelle fell in that category in the 1990s, the early 1990s, when she wanted to go with a different approach to her career. Stephanie Mills, if I'm not mistaken, did the same thing. It was kind of like, okay, I'm doing the same thing over and over again, playing in the same venues over and over again. I want to switch it up, change it up. I liked her last record for MCA Records. Was it called Something Real? I think it was Something Real. It had a single on there called All Day, All Night. I liked it, and I Never Do You Wrong. I especially like All Day and All Night. But when you're used to Stephanie Mills bringing you a certain kind of music or certain kind of R&B, you look like, okay, this is different. And that's it. It's like, okay, this is different. We don't know how to receive you singing this way and singing, on this kind of a track. We're just not used to it. And as I said before, it's kind of sad to think that we have a public. You know what, Stephanie Mills, that's a good question to ask you. And this question can be for any artist out there. And that question would be, how do you all feel when you've had success, Stephanie, the way you've had success? Like, if I'm not mistaken, the bulk of your number ones, right? All of your number ones came from MCA Records, which will be from 1985 to 1989. You have 5 number one singles, Stephanie. Both of those albums, definitely, all of those albums are gold, right? I think If I Were Your Woman, that album almost went platinum. I think. Could be wrong. I know it went gold, but I think it almost got to platinum. If I Were Your Woman. And to see you, an artist of your caliber at that moment, switch it up a little bit. The album, the songs are not bad. It's just that we, as your record buying public, we don't grasp what it is that you're doing. But it's good. Should we? That's a good question. Should we follow an artist even when they change up their music style? Should we follow that artist? That's a good question. I don't know. It's a good question. As I said, it's always a different approach. I never know what approach I'm going to take whenever I'm discussing my R&B divas. It is what it is. But anyway, you know what I'm about to say? Because I'm about to hit that 30-minute mark. I want to keep it at 30. Well, over here at Paper La View, we really and truly do believe We're going to put our behind where our heart's desires to be. Yes, we will. And I also remember whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, baby, remember, I love you, but God loves you best. And that's what I'm saying to you. I love you, but remember, God loves you best. And on that note, you know what I'm looking forward to doing? See you next video. And until then, you all take care of yourself.